G'day. Sorry, I know I look like a bit of an old hobo. I should go for a jet. I look like. The force will be with you. So I'm in a hotel in Broadwater and the aircon's on, and after walking in the sun all day, I'm a bit cold. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what happened today. Yeah. So I sent a bunch of pictures up to Facebook so you can have a look for yourself. Bippin, hey mate, how are you? You doing well? Andrew, good evening. So this is one of the Captain Australia evening chats, eh? So we need a theme song. It's Captain Australia, never gonna fail ya. Don't pay retail. G'day. So this is Captain Australia, and I'm at the Broadwater Hotel Motel. So I've received hospitality 2 nights in a row, which is lovely. Happy New Year to you too, Bippin. So it was 4:30 in the afternoon after a long walk, and I got the offer from the lovely Gail, whose daughter-in-law Amy runs and operates the Broadwater Hotel Motel. That was about 17k from where I was at the time. So between 4:30 and 8:30, I did a really successful march to get here. I had to sort of dig in because I've been walking all day, but I did that. G'day, evening. G'day, Kaz. But I did that 17k and I got here. And Noel, check this out, my friend. So I've got in there beetroot, strawberries, a bit of cheese, some greens, and woohoo to the woohoo, that's rice and garlic prawns. So that's thank you to the lovely Amy, who owns and operates the Broadwater Hotel Motel here. She just hooked me up. We had a big old hug and a lovely old chat. So icy cold Sprite, bit of product placement there, I guess. I'll move that out of the way. You don't need to be looking at that. And g'day, Kitty. So lovely food, icy cold drink. It's great. And it just again contrasts how with a bit of hard work and a bit of suffering, everything else just gets so much better at the end of the day. But yeah, what happened today? So I told you yesterday how I met the lovely Jo and she lifted me up, yeah? The last 2 days have really set me up. That's absolutely right. They really have. So when I met Jo, sitting on the entry to Ballina, I was down in the dumps. So the universe is on my side, maybe, Aaron. Yeah, that's nice to ponder that. But yeah, I was down in the dumps. So it was just reflecting on my kids. I was a little bit heartbroken, missing my children. A self-inflicted wound, but a wound nonetheless, you know. And one that a lot of people have had to go through these last couple of years, I guess. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just all of the spirits knocked out of me. I'm still okay. And I'm probably stronger emotionally and mentally than I have been in years. And I've let go of a lot of the grief that I carried with me after my own fight with stage 4 cancer and the subsequent crisis. But I was just missing my kids. And Jo shows up and says, "G'day, you want a kombucha?" And I did, and we drank together and we talked and shared stories. And she's turned into a fast friend. So she helped me navigate out of Ballina the following day. And it can be really tricky getting out of Ballina. Didn't want to go on the M1, didn't want to get crushed by a big truck or anything. And sorry, I know the aircon's on here, so I'm a bit cold. So the force is with you and with me as well. The Ballina, so to get out, it was a great adventure. I updated some pictures. I think I'm getting younger a little bit. Like at the end, I'll shave off the beard and everything, and we'll see. Because I think my whole body, mind, and spirit by the end of this thing will have transformed. I've got some, dodgy injuries on my feet. They're too gross to look at, to be honest. You don't need to see them, I don't think. But never mind. There's a bit blistery. So out of Ballina, there's like this secret road. Jo sends me this list of roads, turn left here, right there, and I follow it, and it goes from like a seldom travelled secret road, which was just lovely and beautiful, and lots of beautiful trees and sweeping vistas, and I loved it. So check out today's photos if you want to see what I'm talking about. So then I follow these roads, and then it says turn right. And there's no real road there, and just like a ditch filled with water. And I look down, and could that be the road that it means? And there's a picture of the guy, Shane, a local who lives on a farm there. I wander over to the farm and I wave him down and I explain that I'm not mental. Or hang on, I'm walking to Melbourne. So yes, I am mental, but I'm harmless and I need a little help. Can you tell me, is this an actual legit road, and where does it go? And he tells me it is a road, but it goes through, it is a public road, but it is shared with properties. There's gates. You have to follow a few property lines. It sort of loses itself, and like it was phenomenal. So I followed it, and pretty soon it didn't even have the little ruts. It just became a grassy field, and following it was probably my first legitimate adventure since I was a child. As you age, experience kind of numbs you to that sort of thing. You just want to solve your problems and move on. You become practical and a realist. But I was like skipping through the daisies. Sorry, I'm tearing up a little bit because I loved it. I was joyful about it, even though there was some risk of getting lost. Not a major risk. I kept my eye on the GPS, and I had a compass, and I could always retrace my steps at the end of the day. So I followed these non-existent roads, and they turned into little winding goat paths. I got to a couple of points where I could turn left, right, or go down the middle, and I sort of leaned into the GPS, because as far as Google Map was concerned, there was like a road there, sort of, or I don't know, something. So, but it didn't correspond to, one of my blisters has popped. Oh, okay. I'll tend to that after the stream. That I might want to put a special Band-Aid on that. But yeah, so I was walking down these goat paths into it, like there's a swampy area, there was a rainforesty area, and then I realized that there was sort of like a goat path winding up a hill to the right, then it turned up a hill to the left with forest sort of hanging over it, and it crossed a couple of gates, and then I was able to do a stream. It picks up into a stream that I did for you, where I was able to show you, a cattle farmer's property, and I think we went skipping or something. I know, I started singing, I think. I don't know. Sorry about that. I climbed a fence. The me 1 year ago, he's not a fence climbing dude, and I had a 20k pack on my back, no less. And yeah, boom, 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 over you go. Let's continue. No worries. And I feel that coming alive as I have this adventure. And the message underneath all of it is that that's available to you too, or anyone in your life that you know who needs it, yeah? So, pardon me, that's a cancer cough, not a COVID cough. I get dry mouth, but it's because of the radiation, killed my salivary glands. Going through COVID when you have a little cough has been navigating through that has been a bit tricky. You love my singing. Oh, geez, you're a masochist, aren't you? But what was it? It was a James Taylor song. So I was too slow to show you, but when I was walking on the road, like this big herd of cows charged me, like 30 cows, I don't know. Anyway, they charged down onto the road, parked directly in front of me. By the time I got the camera up, I was hoping that we could have fun, weaving through them or shooing them off a bit. But by the time I got the camera up, they were already running away. But it was just such a visceral experience. Again, another little moment of joy. And anyway, I followed that farm road down into where the old highway is. So now along the M1, there's the old highways that used to run between Brisbane and Sydney, and I think I'll take that tomorrow. But yeah, sorry, there's a comment there. Take proper care of your feet, Tina says. You really need to look after them. You still have plenty of Ks to go. You can do it though. Yeah, I will. And my feet are really, I think they're healing well. I think I'm pretty robust. This blister that's popped could get a little iffy, so I will tend to it and wrap it up, and I'll make sure to care for my feet. But today, I think after a rocky start last week, today I did my first real endurance march too. So after the scampering through the farmyards and the forests and all of the rest, and I saw these stumps that to me look weirdly like Ned Kelly's helmet. So again, if you check out the photos, you'll see what I mean. I came up to the old highway, completely deserted, just like seldom used, but big wide highway. And I got contacted by Gail, who offered hospitality. Her daughter runs this hotel motel here, and she said if you can get there before it's too late, we can put you up for a room. And again, like sleeping rough, I'm ready to do it and happy to do it. But the idea of another night in a bed when my feet were still a bit iffy was great. So John says, I love following your adventure, Simon. John, you're a friend from Kenmore. Good on you. Kenmore represent. Sorry, that's the suburb where I live in back in Brisbane. So yeah, it's 17K from where I was, and I'd already had quite a hike. And I resolved, bang, I'm gonna get there, and I'm gonna, I've had enough of all of this wishy-washy stuff. Let's just march. Without the wet weather, it was good. I think I hit a pace of 5 to 6K, which is not, it's not an incredible pace, but when you got a big pack on your back, it's okay. And when you've been walking for more than a week, it's probably okay too. So I was pretty pleased, and I got here, and but for a little bit of blistering on my right foot, I think my feet are pretty sound as well. So I'll look after them. And yeah, they made me a lovely dinner, and that's purely the kindness of Amy here, who owns and operates the hotel. So I don't know, we review bomb businesses that we don't like. If you want to review bloom any of these businesses, just say thank you for helping out Captain Australia. I'm sure you'd be helping a very sweet, ethical, decent, sort of salt of the earth type family-run business. Oh, Ballina Honey, buddy. So we've got a comment from Rob. Thanks so much for your time today, Simon. Aaron and I enjoyed meeting you, Rob. So yeah, on the way, so Rob got me sort of right at the starting point of this march that I just told you about to get here to the motel. Lovely bloke, pulls over. He's in his Ballina Honey truck, and he's got his son with him, Aaron. And he comes out, he's got for me lip balm. Thank you so much. And a little thing of honey, which is on the table over there, which I like mixing it in with my canteen a bit at a time. Just adds this real sweetness to the water when you're marching. So, Rob, pleasure to meet you, and thank you very much for your kindness, mate. And Ballina Honey, represent. So, yeah, here I am at the motel, and honestly, I'm feeling 1,000 times better. So I've reconciled the sadness of missing my kids, and I'm in it now. And I think not just am I in it, I'm here to play, So I'd like to show you something over the next few days, make some real progress. It's not really about that. It's not really about the distance. I'd like to also show you something and do a better job in sharing the adventure of it. Rob says, hee, all the best, mate. Yeah, buddy, you're salt of the earth, mate. Daniel, you're a legend. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. You see, old dog can learn new tricks too. When people say you're a legend and all the rest, thank you so much. None of this, oh, shut up. Don't say that. I'm not a legend. It's funny. Like, I don't know why I grew up that way. Very self-effacing and uncomfortable with compliments. So next, I don't know whether I'll start really super early tomorrow, or I might get a look on the weather. Any movement forward is progress. Stay safe. Hey, Kitty, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it's very easy in your life to kind of slip into a trap, though, where you're either not moving or you think you're moving, and it's not mindful. So you say any movement forward is progress, and that's true, but it's easy to kind of deceive yourself about the direction that you're going in. So I, for the first time in a long time, feel that I'm completely recalibrating, and I am absolutely mindfully choosing the person that I want to be. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's a conscious, articulated choice. So I want to just flush away all the dark and past grief and all of that. And for those who we haven't talked about that or have missed previous streams where I've talked about that, I think the letting go of grief is massively, massively enlightening to your soul. So when you carry a lot of pain, whether it can be in the form of resentment. You might resent an employer or a family member, or a situation where you're held away from your loved ones or whatnot. And you just carry this slowly accumulating bitterness. You might have suffered grief and not completely processed it, and you've just tucked that away in the darker parts of your heart, and it's fermented a little bit and grown, or it's just stayed there, this little piece of you that's sour. But when you are able to let that stuff go, it's incredibly powerful. So for me, as I've been coming alive and I've realized that I'm alive after a period of suffering, I've been able to let a lot of those parts of me go. So, it was in the first week walking down the beach, just slowly crying as I felt it washing out of me. Anyway, sorry, this is a conversation, not me doing an old man ramble. So let's have a look. You have a lot of fans now. Such an inspiration. I needed to hear this. Thank you for the video. Wishing you all the best for such a great way to start a new year. Jani, is that how you say it? Jani, mate, that's a lovely comment. Thank you so much. Oh, what do we got? Kaz says, you certainly look better than the other day when you had your cry. Yeah, there's nothing sexier than an old man crying, is there, Kaz? Amanda says, have a great snooze tonight. Enjoy the pillows ease. Yeah, oh, you better believe it. I'm actually, though, seriously, like, okay, so a year ago, um, cancer had its maximum impact on my life. So I had a lot of damage, and I still have damage. I have daily pain almost, but screw you, cancer. It's nothing. It's okay. I'm at peace with it. I manage it. No worries. But last year, not so much. And one of the things that cancer stole from me is my sleep. And one of the things that I've most immediately won back in this big war against cancer, it's not the big war, it's the big war, where I'm just sort of, I don't know, no, I'm not fighting back at all. This is about something I think a bit deeper than that. Cancer is just a disease, you know. This is about like a pilgrimage, a spiritual rebuilding of a human being. And if I can do it, anybody can. But one of the things that I've rebuilt is my sleep. Even in my dodgy hammock, sleeping rough, under a tarp, exposed, vulnerable to human or animal intervention, vulnerable to the weather, or, you know, all of these circumstances that you would think would render it quite difficult to sleep. Bang, I'm out for 10 hours. And I think that's going to be like a new normal. Because pre-cancer, whether it's a combination of, you know, anxiety, depression, issues with breathing and obesity, whatever it is, I'd wake up every 3 hours and my sleep was not nourishing. Tonight, when I drop under, I'm going to have vivid, deep dreams. I'm going to wake up at like 7 or 8 in the morning. And it's so wonderful. And again, there's a contrast between where I was and where I am. And what I'm hoping is that creates a concrete example for other people who are having troubles with even just simple fundamental problems like sleeping or, yeah, you know, dealing with anxiety. I spoke to one chap who, after his cancer, just had like a generalized anxiety, and he had no idea how to deal with it. I had a few suggestions. Like for me, my best suggestion, I think, is not to lean into your disease, but to lean into your cure. So that probably sounds really stupid, but it's all about embracing, working from a platform, a hopeful platform that constructive change is available to you, and then trying within a reasonable way, incremental, different strategies every day that are designed to result in your happiness and minimize the impact of whatever the condition is. You know, so if it's a mobility thing, you practice different ways of getting around, do some chin-ups or whatever. Now, hey, how about a personal challenge? By the time I get to the end of the big walk, I would like to be able to do 10 chin-ups. So for me, when my thyroid got wrecked, I was 140 kilos. The idea that I could ever be thin enough again to do a chin-up, which is really just a sign that the ratio of muscle to fat in your body is sound. You know, you're strong enough to lift your own body weight up. The idea that I could ever get to that point was astonishing and impossible. So by the end of the big walk, I'd like to that's my celebration. That's all I need. We don't need to have a six-pack parade or anything. But when I get there, I'd like at Federation Square, if there's a little bar hanging somewhere, to just jump up loud and proud and do 10 chin-ups, you know what I mean? Because if I can do that, I've fixed one of the dimensions, body. Mind and spirit will wait and see. Sounds like a mouse chewing on your mic. Oh, I'm sorry, it's this blank here. I think it might be rubbing against the microphone. Sorry about that. Jeez, I look like an old hobo, don't I? Bloody hell. Need to put some dye in the hair, shave the beard off. I look like there's the character. You people, you all be too young. I remember when I was a kid, they had all these TV shows on the ABC, and there was the actor was John Pertwee from the old Doctor Who, and he was Warsaw Gummidge, the garbage collecting man or something, and he was like this old hobo who used to go around collecting garbage and making things out of it. I don't know, I'm probably completely misremembering. Anyway, bloody blah blah, Simon. So tomorrow, Coffs Harbour. So I can stock up on as much water as I need, but I only take about a day's worth. I'll research the route and see if there's any stopping points where I can be sure of water. And if I can't, there's always farmhouses and stuff around. I don't think carrying the extra 3 or 4 liters of water and the extra 3 or 4 kilos that it translates to is worth it, given that there's just real accessibility to water. It's just a challenge for me to get it. I might have to politely ask people or something if I run out, and if there's none publicly available. Leanne says, "Loving your journey, inspirational." Thank you, Leanne. That's a lovely comment. Thank you very much for that. I'm glad you're getting something from it. I'll do my best to try and share it as clearly and truthfully as possible. Was that Ben Hallam? Did I see the name Benny Hallam go past? Oh no, Baz Hallam. Okay, I had a mate, Ben Hallam, from work a long time ago. Margaret Whiting asks, selfie stick, were you able to get one? That's the one thing that I stuffed up, Margaret. Couldn't find it. So I went to the reject shop. There were a few possibilities and no good. Couldn't, could not find one. So I've got, though, this great new weatherproof phone case, and it's got a little clip on the back. So right now you're clipped to a little light stand. And so I can, innovate a little bit with that, and I'll get a selfie stick when I pass through Coffs Harbour or anywhere that sells selfie sticks. I'll keep my eye open and grab one. Oh, I've got some lovely calluses forming on my left foot. My right foot's just a little bit iffy. Wow, that toe feels like steel. My legs are like steel springs, and my toes are like steel toes. Sorry. Okay, so the Coffs Harbour tomorrow. I will try and put in a nice 40k or something like that. Maybe a bit more. I don't know. But I'm also at the same time going to take it easy, stop and smell the roses. I did my best with the photos today, but I think I can do better as well. And pardon me. If anything, I'm being really mindful that when I meet people, I want to collect them. If I can get permission to do a little stream with them and introduce them, talk to them, I'm going to try and get better at that too, because part of this journey is about the people that I meet. These last couple of days have shown tremendous kindness, and I think there's great value in that. I think we can all take something away from seeing some of these beautiful people, like this lady Jo, and today Amy, just salt of the earth, such kindness. And it's the kind of people that you can just as easily get into an argument with if you're grumpy, but it's as much being able to access that kindness. I've been able to, and maybe it's the situation, but it's there. And with the correct song in our hearts, we can find that in each other. You know what I mean? So I think we've somehow become a bit suspicious of each other, and I don't know. But I'm shocked and amazed by the kindness. And when I get back from this journey, and then I'm just an old fool in the suburbs, anonymously doing this thing, I hope that it translates across, that I'm able to give and share in that for the rest of my life. But yeah, Sue, you're right. We all need to see a bit of kindness. Well, the Buddhists say that it's the antidote to suffering. Human suffering is only cured with kindness and compassion. So we've got a comment there. This is a longer one. LeJoy. They were great photos and enough, Simon. Keep plugging where people can donate. You're doing awesome and a very funny man. Lol. Love your truths, buddy. Oh, cheers. I'm a bit shy to constantly flog the charity, but I guess I got to be mindful too that people could be jumping in and have no clue what this random dude wrapped in a blanket is about. So I need to succinctly say it as well. So firstly, there's a sticky post at the top that explains everything. It's an episode from the project. I think they did a great job of articulately retelling who I am and what I'm trying to do. And it's all for a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. It's 950 children diagnosed every week with pediatric cancer in Australia. Just the Aussie numbers. So the global numbers, which would also benefit from research into these types of cancers, staggering. Couldn't even begin to imagine what the global numbers are. So it means that 3 Aussie kids die every week. So the 20% of those 950 who cannot survive treatment die. And the 80% that do survive treatment suffer from lifelong chronic health impacts. And so it cascades every year. There's a new 950, new 3 kids every week dying, and new kids with chronic health problems, and their children. So the ones that, they might live another 30, 40, 50, 60 years, but they have all kinds of significant, profound health problems. So by investing in the underlying science to soften those and improve those treatments, save children's lives. So that's the purpose of the charity. And I am very, very passionate about it because I guess it's situational empathy, I come from trauma, so I've always felt strongly about any sort of situation where a child is vulnerable. But there's also just the understanding of all of the side effects and the treatment, the distress, and the support environment that you need, but the distress that it impacts on your support network as well. When you get cancer, people don't know how to talk to you. They mean well. I mean, but even the people that love you, they might, if you're still grappling with side effects 3 years later, they might be, come on, you got cured, you're good, get over it. And that creates a rift in your relationship. Or you might be all good, but they still have this sort of slightly false, are you okay? And that gets up your bum. So it just distorts human relationships and causes problems. And we've got a comment in there. Let's catch that. Hey, mate. Kerry Dinty says, you keep saying how people are so kind to you. Do you know how much kindness radiates from you? Please keep singing because you have a great voice. Well, no offense, but I'm not sure I agree with you. Who wants me to sing a song? Boo, no, boo, everyone says. See? There you go. The proof's in the pudding. So, anyway, sorry, I will ramble all evening. I don't know the next set of towns that I'm going to go through. I haven't looked at the maps yet, but when I leave in the morning, I'll take some photos of the staff and the location here, and I'll update what my next moves are. I think Coffs Harbour is a good 3-4 days away. So Grafton is next, and that's probably still a couple of days away, and then Coffs Harbour maybe a couple of days beyond that. So I'm thinking Coffs Harbour 4 or 5 days from now. I don't know for sure. I'm going to try and map it out a little bit. I'd like to walk down the old coastal, the highway, the old Pacific Highway that used to be what is now the M1. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out overnight, do a bit of research. So for now, I'm going to eat my garlic prawns. Check those bad boys out. Now, I've also got my veggies. Check those bad boys out. And I've got my icy cold Sprite. Check that bad boy out. Now, I know I'm showing you very simple food like it's, haha, I am the Sheik of Iran. This is what I eat. You peasants, you do not eat this. You peasants eat how do you say, the shit. I eat the real good food. Look, this is the golden food. I am the best one. Look at me. Ha ha ha. And I say it like that, but this is a delight. These garlic prawns are delicious. And again, it's just a contrast how a bit of work and a bit of suffering really, really just, has its rewards. You get context, you get perspective, and I forgot all about that. So I'm just relearning some of the basics of life, and maybe, if anybody else got a little bit lost along the way, you might benefit from that as well. So I will, I think, wind it up there. Thank you so much. Unless anybody has any questions, does anybody want to ask anything? The big walk is really as much for you as it is for me, as it is for the charity. We are the 3 equal groups that I think have a stakeholder in this thing. And the benefit, the thing that I want to offer you is just this concrete example that if it's broken, you can fix it. Enjoy the prawns, says Kitty, and have a great sleep. I will. I can confidently say I will. Thank you. Yep. So anybody have any suggestions, like with anything that I'm not doing great? I think the photos need a bit of work. Should Captain Australia be in the photos? If I had my selfie stick, I could kind of pose heroically in them. Or should Captain Australia not be in the photos, and it's better to see the actual places and the things that I'm seeing? I don't know. I'll just muddle through. But if ever you make comments, by the way, as I eat my food and then lay around, I go through and I try to look at and answer every single comment, even if it's just with a, oh, I love this, or I care about that, or I like this. So both lol, she says, okay, I'll try and mix them, Sue. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions or comments that you chuck in there anywhere on this confusing mess that is Facebook, I will probably see them and do my best to answer you if there's a question. Yes, you should be in the photos. You've improved on the pics. They're good. Okay, thank you. I'll try and make them even better. So for now, I'm going to eat and then tend to my blisters and then look at comments and sleep. And I think the only thing that you can watch on the telly here is old episodes of shows like Friends and Seinfeld and whatnot. So I might even watch a little bit of telly while I eat. All the best. Thank you. I'm humbled by your interest in Captain Australia's Big Walk. I'm sorry that I'm not Captain Australia at the moment. This is unplugged. So I appreciate your time and attention. And if I'm passing through a community that's near you, I mean, people have been jumping up to like Gail, just the lovely Gail. Oh, you're going through near our hotel. Hey, 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 are you going to go near Broadwater? People are just jumping in there wanting to help me. I'd like to help you. So if there's anything going on in your community where you'd like Captain Australia to get involved somehow, evangelize a little even, that's fine. Or if, there's a pub and there's a karaoke night or some sort of event, or you were throwing a party, a birthday party, and you'd like me to come along and, we can get drunk and sing together, count me in. It'd be great if we could share it with the world, but, and if there's anything like that, just send me a message. I'm passing down the eastern coast and I'm pretty flexible in winding wherever I need to go. So we've got a comment. Kerry, take all kinds of photographs so you can add them to your book that you'll no doubt write. We'll see about that. I don't know. I I don't know what's going to happen after the big walk. Let's just get to Melbourne. Kat is watching. Hey, Kat, how you doing? Cool name. So sorry, Kat, you've joined when we're just winding up. So thank you again, everybody. I appreciate your remarks, and I'll do a stream tomorrow when I hit the road. Oh, Liam asks, how far have you walked so far? I've just joined your page yesterday. Mate, it's really hard to say because Google Maps and the tools, the common tools that we use to sort of plot these kind of things are a bit wonky. So a lot of the legs that I've planned, they won't even allow me to select like when you try and select a walking path, it says there's none available. So today is a good example where I've gone like all over the place. I tried to get on a ferry, but it was all flooded. Had to scoot up around through some bushland, and I reckon today I probably did. It has to be close to 40K. Oh, the snake. Did you know what it was? I've seen a couple of, they've all been dead, but they were all brown snakes. So, they are deadly poisonous. And where there's a dead one, it means there's a few live ones around. So I'm pretty snake aware. The main thing is just always look, and long grass is your enemy because you just can't see. But if it's proximity. If you get too close to a snake, you'll scare them and they might lash out at you. Shirley says, "Night, Simon. Sleep well." Same to you, Shirley. Thanks so much. Have a nice dream. Dream about flowers and puppy dogs and that you can fly and all of that sort of stuff. Um, yeah. So snakes. Any of the pictures of snakes that I've shown, they're actually a bit more, but they're all dead snakes. Liam asks, "My God, you're literally letting nothing stop you." Grouse work. Cheers, mate. I think the biggest adversary has been the weather in the first week. I had a lot of luck at the start, but then there were like 4 days of consistent on off on off on off rain, and I mean nightly storms, and I was sleeping rough through that stuff too. But yeah, it was good actually. I mean, being here in a comfortable motel is wonderful, but yeah, I guess I've been in the spirit of adventure. So yeah, I don't intend to be stopped by anything. Today I wanted to catch that ferry, but the floodwater did stop me. I couldn't. There was no viable way to move forward, so I just found an alternate path. But yeah, look, I'm gonna go on all night. You don't want to listen to me ramble on all night, and I need to eat now. Look at this. Oh, beetroot. Nom 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 nom. You don't need to see that. Liam says, definitely well deserved. Well, thank you, mate. I appreciate your kindness. I appreciate all of your kindness. I can't tell you how grateful I am. and how much value it has to me to see and undeservingly receive this human kindness. So thank you so much. I think you beat that cyclone, mate. Yeah. Someone said there was going to be one. It was like New Year's Eve, I think, and I was just decked up in the beach, I think south of Pottsville, set up for a rough sleep. But I was so tired, I just, if there was a cyclone, I bloody slept right through it. Um, but last night there was like pretty severe rains, and again, slept right through them in comfort. And I might get out of that today. Whoops, this is what my MIFO earbuds look like if you're at all curious. And if anybody wants to know or see about any of my kit or gear, you ask those questions in the comments and I'll show you at some point. So I've got the solar panel array, which is working on these sunny days as well. But in the motel, when I got access to power here, I just completely 100% stock up. So I've got everything I need and nothing to stop me from my run at Coffs Harbour. And I'll update you in the morning about the route that I'm going to take. So all the best. Thank you for tolerating my rambly evening streams. This has been Simon / Captain Australia. And yeah, today I wore my proper Captain Australia kit all day, actually. You know, the whole, where is it? It's up here. Oh, I'm partly naked, so I don't want to reach for it. But yeah, I wore the full mask with my new glasses in there and all the rest. So I'm trying to do that wherever possible when I'm out. So when you see me when I'm out, it's usually not just that, you know, the cowboy hat. I've got the full mask and gear on. So it's either that the classic green uniform or the high vis, more blue, water resistant one. Sorry, that's my cancer coffee then. When my throat gets too dry, got to remember to drink constantly. Sorry about that. If it's gross for anybody. Liam says night, mate, and Simon says night, mate. Right back at you. So thank you everybody for your interest. I think I have already lost a chunk of weight. Like, well, leading up to the big walk, I lost like 50 to 60k over a period of 6 months. So just in walking around my neighborhood at home. But this stuff, it's rucking. So I'm carrying a heavy weight and I'm walking consistently. And yeah, that's one of the healthiest things you can do if you want to lose weight. So I reckon next week you'll probably see quite a significant change in my anatomy. I'll show you my gut, and you know, I think I am starting to see the abdominal muscles underneath. So I'll start to get a more normal, more human body. Pardon me, body shape after a while. But yeah, so body, that's one of it. Mind, that's the other. Spirit, that's the third. For me, I'd reverse that in order of importance. I think spirit is probably the fundamental one, and the biggest corner of that is hope. So mine is alive and burning, and if you have any reason to doubt yours, I hope we can get you there. All right, mate. Take care of yourselves. Good night, everybody. I'm going to eat my food, watch some TV, and then answer some comments. So take care of yourselves. Cheers.